Hello everyone, this is Joel from Niabi Zoo, wishing everybody a happy Earth Day. Now of course, since it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, I just want to take stock for a minute as to what's happening on Earth at this very moment. As we know, as everyone has been doing their social distancing and staying at home and doing all those things, really not just here in America, but all over the world, we're seeing a lot of changes to the planet. It's that thing where we get so busy in our lives that sometimes we forget to actually take stock of what's going on in the world around us. Now, of course, as people have been driving less and people aren't out on the streets as much as they have been, we've been seeing large cities where pollution has created so much smog that smog is actually clearing up. And we're able to see mountains in the distance, and we're able to see cleaner air and things that more than we ever have before. We see fish returning to rivers and cleaner rivers than what we've been able to see before. And so we just want to stop and think for a minute about all of the different things that are happening in the habitats of animals around the world and how much we as humans are having an impact on that. So as we're thinking about forests and grasslands and deserts and oceans and all of these different habitats, we as humans have an impact on all of those things. I think this period of time where people are stopping and really having an opportunity maybe even to smell the roses for a little bit because we're paying attention to what's going on around the world, where usually we're caught up in our lives so much that we don't always get to notice that. And so as we see native wildlife that are coming back out into the cities or into our neighborhoods and all of that, we should take the time to appreciate that. But also remembering the exotic wildlife around the world, like Bob right here behind me. He is our reticulated python, and as he comes from places like Southeast Asia and the different rainforests around the world, we want to think about our impact on places like that. So if we take a look at Bob and the rainforest there that he lives in, and he shares that with some sailfin lizards. We have to think, of course, that our impact on rainforests have been pretty dramatic. Everyone probably remembers the Amazon rainforest burning and pretty much all of Australia burning in 2019. Most of that is all on us, right? So we have to think about all of the animals, the plants, and so many other things that are impacted by all of human action, right? And that's really what Earth Day is all about, is to consider our place on this earth and think about what impact we're having on our habitats, our environment, so that everybody, including the animals themselves, can perhaps appreciate what's happening in the world and that we can help take care of them. So as we look closely down here, we see we've got a little friend right there. And as we look at some of our desert lizards that are in this habitat, we want to think about really deserts are actually expanding. Now the question is, with deserts expanding, is that a good thing? It might be for these lizards, but it's not so good for most habitats because when we are depleting all of the water resources, this is happening in California and the Southwest a lot. When we deplete those water resources, it dries out the land. So grasslands are becoming more desert-like. Even forests are drying out, and those that are on the edges of forests, those habitats are drying out as well. And so as deserts expand, they become less productive for the animals that would typically live there. And so again, we have to be mindful of how much water we're taking from the ground when places like Las Vegas, who happens to be right in the middle of a desert, draws all of their water from the same California aquifers where most of the state of California draws it from. There's no wonder there are so many wildfires in California on a recurring basis because that land is so parched, because so much water has been drawn from the land that is constantly dry. So we, again, as humans, have an impact on that. Now, of course, with so many of the places that we do impact, there's probably no greater place that we impact than the oceans. So as we look at some of our ocean friends here, you might be able to see in the back there that we have our cowfish, right? It's our longhorn cowfish as he comes up to take a closer look at us here. And The ocean itself, of course, we have a direct connection to the ocean here in the Quad Cities. And as we think about our connection to that of course is through the Mississippi River. So whether it is agricultural chemicals or the chemicals that we're putting on our lawn, or whether that's plastic pollution or any other trash that ends up in the river, we have to remember that goes straight to the Gulf of Mexico, which leads directly to the ocean itself. So the impact that we're having on the ocean has become pretty dramatic, as I'm sure people have been paying attention to all of the things, whether you're watching David Attenborough on Blue Planet or you're just seeing the news of all of the plastics in the ocean. We are having that direct impact. So we have to take, again, stock of what it is that we're doing as human beings, and in this time where we can slow down and take a look around, perhaps we can actually help out if you are at home and doing not much else, perhaps go around in your neighborhood, take a trash bag out there, put on some gloves, and go out and pick up some trash in your neighborhood. I do this almost every single day in my neighborhood, where I'm going around and there seems to always be trash that people throw out their windows. Now, of course, you'd say, oh, well, how is litter affecting animals? Well, some animals are going to try and eat that, but again, also it's going to wash into our river systems and it's going to end up out in the ocean. So every step that we take here has an impact. So we hope that you will find a way to make your impact felt, to help conserve animals and take care of the habitats and environments that are all around us, because we are not separate from habitats and ecosystems. We as humans have to remember that we are part of those, and sometimes we can spoil those same habitats for animals, and so we want to make sure that we're taking care of the habitats, because that way we'll also be taking care of animals. So we hope that you all are enjoying your Earth Day, and remember, Earth Day is every day. We can do something every single day to help the earth and help animals, and we hope that you will join us in those efforts. Please follow us on, of course, our Facebook page, and check out Niabi Zoo's conservation page, where you can learn more about our plastic reduction initiative that's going on all throughout the Quad Cities, and something that you can do in your life. So everyone, take care, and we hope to see you at the zoo again soon. Bye-bye, everyone.